Hi, Empress Justice here. How are you guys doing? Welcome to Empress Justice Daily. Now, I'm doing another video on why I left Black Brighton Market. I did promise that I was going to do this video. Now, for those of you who are wondering, why are you harping on this shit? This is just a market and it's a relatively small one. It's trying to help the community. Why are you harping on this? The truth of the matter is that many of the organizations I deal with, it is not the organizations themselves that are responsible for what I'm going through. I identify as a targeted individual. Now, there are other names floating around like empowered individual. I choose to identify as a targeted individual. And for those who are unfamiliar, what that is that your name is essentially placed on a watch list where there are informal collaborators of all different races, all different ethnicities, all different walks of life that are assigned to engage in psychological warfare against you and to track and report your movements. So that's the psychological component of this. The other component of this is unlawful surveillance technology. It is also experimenting with the use of frequency weaponry, directed energy weaponry, and what are called LRADs, long-range acoustic devices. I've spoken to a microwave weapons expert as a TI. There are many of us coming out as being electrosensitive, but truth be told, electrosensitive is just code word for targeted individual, because many of us are being attacked with electronic weapons as a means to experiment with how effective they are. So this is why I brought up how Black Brighton Market, or certain members within it, and not the organization itself, but certain members within it, have been complicit in my targeting through mainly psychological warfare. Do you understand? Because psychological warfare, the function that serves is to damage the nervous system of the target. It's to break down the nervous system of the target and kill them through their nervous system. I'm sure you've heard many tales of domestic abuse where you know, if a woman's sleeping, then a man will deliberately wake her up. And when you wake up, your cortisol levels are already high, because that's what it takes to wake you up. And then you're given stress on top of that. So there's examples like that. Psychological warfare can involve that, getting your cortisol levels up to weaken your heart. So psychological warfare can weaken your heart. It can weaken your immune system. It can weaken your nervous system. This is why psychological warfare, whichever community it takes place in, is important to talk about here. That's why I'm bringing up Black Brighton Market again. And on top of that, the psychological warfare supplements the effectiveness of the frequency weapons and the microwave weapons and the DEW weaponry, that's the laser weaponry, and the long-range acoustic devices that are being experimented on specific citizens every single day around the clock. So that's why I'm bringing up Black Brighton Market. It's got nothing to do with the organization itself. It's simply pointing out how individuals within the organization are contributing to the psychological warfare, to the destruction of my nervous system, and therefore to my own murder and to the genocide of other people around this country. So when I say that this is murder and genocide, I'm not just saying that for effect. I'm not just saying that, you know, to be dramatic, or, you know, because that's how they'll represent it. From the time I say genocide and murder, they'll turn around and say, well, you know, she's just cuckoo and she's just talking about genocide and murder. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know, like, I'm used to it. I'm used to people calling me crazy, you know, for telling the truth. So this is just no big deal to me when people do stuff like that. And trying to make my claims sound as crazy as possible is also a part of the psychological warfare. Because the more people say something dumb to kind of counteract you telling the truth, is the more you drive yourself crazy trying to explain things. I've learned to let that go, and I've learned to just stick to explaining exactly why certain behavior within the communities that I frequent is a problem. So I'm going to talk about that now. Now, when it comes to Black Brighton Market, I was asked to join in November 2022 because there were no tarot readers at the time that were Black, right? And I decided to join December 20 2022. And the reason I did it in December was because like it was a confidence issue, quite frankly, because I've been doing it online, but I'm thinking, am I really ready to do it face to face? Because I've done remote readings and the remote readings weren't always accurate. So I'm thinking, am I ready to do face to face? It took me December to finally take the plunge and be like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I joined December 2022 and everything was cool between me and Black Brighton Market at first. Of course it is. Jade Hilton, the founder, made this sign for me. She painted a sign, Empress Justice Tarot, and she did lots of different colors on it. I lost the sign like an idiot. So she painted like lots of different colors on the signs and stuff. So the relationship was really, really good at first. Everything was really good. And there was gang stalking. From the second I set foot in Black Brighton Market, there was gang stalking. It just, 9 times out of 10, it was not the store members that were doing it. It was just like people coming in and out who maybe wore a specific color or said a particular phrase. And because of that, it made it really easy for me to ignore the gang stalking, because it was a utopia. You're talking about there were Black creatives, and not only that, queer creatives, people of all kinds of different, like gender and fucking, like, it was heaven to me. That was my version of utopia. It didn't even matter if people didn't take me seriously. I was just like, I love being here. So from 2022, all of it was good. It was all good in the hood. Then came 2023. And I think it was early 2023 when I had my first disagreement with an organizer in Black Brighton Market. Because they kept telling me over and over again that they didn't want me to pay for the store space because they were waiting for another tarot reader to show up. Now, for those of you who think that isn't a big deal, let me ask you this. If somebody were to say to you, I'd rather everybody refrains from paying for their store space just in case there are other store people who come in. If you were to say that to somebody else and you were real generalized about it, you wouldn't think they were trying to replace you. You would think, oh, okay. So basically what you want to do is wait until everybody's in and wait until the deadline passes. And then you can organize your finances accordingly to stop yourself from getting tripped up. So that would have been my first thought. If this organizer would have said, you know what, I don't want you to pay for it yet, just in, because I'm waiting for everybody to come through, then I would have been like, yeah, I would have let it go. But this person used tarot readers specifically. And I'm thinking, nah, I don't like this. Like, why are you trying to? And then on top of that, on top of that, I confronted this person by email and I said, look, because I was very insecure at the time. I said, look, I'm a talented tarot reader. I know who I am. I know what I have, and I don't appreciate my time being wasted. If you don't want me to be in a part of the market, then I don't have to be in a part of the market. And they said, well, no, it was just because I wanted to give everyone a chance. So, okay, basically they were gaslighting me, right? So what I did was I took that gaslighting and I said, okay, let's just say for argument's sake, you wanted to give everybody a chance to be on the stalls. Instead of just saying that, you said you wanted a different tarot reader to come through. Like specifically, I do not want you. You are just a reserve just in case somebody else doesn't come through. Because why would you say I need another tarot reader or I'm waiting for another tarot reader specifically? That's where the gang stalking within Black Brighton Market started to become more obvious. So I confronted them about it and I made sure that I tried to see things from their side, even though they were blatantly gaslighting me and they were blatantly just like, and then this person kind of brought up all the ways that Black Brighton Market had previously gone out of their way to help me, which they did, right? They brought up all those previous times to basically gaslight from the main issue. So I'm thinking, okay, game on, this is where it starts. Because even though I knew at the time that this behavior was gang stalking, The way that I actually treated it, I treated it as if it was a like regular work situation. Now, I don't have a job, right? I'm on benefits and I do this tarot thing as a revenue stream. And truth be told, I don't make any profits. And the DHSS know that. Why do you think they haven't been on my ass yet? Okay. Now, I do this tarot reading thing as a revenue stream. But because I have ADHD and I have, you know, sensitivity to rejection, which has been exacerbated by gangstalking, it put me on high alert. But as it turns out, I was right to feel that way, because saying I'm waiting for another tarot reader who wasn't you to come through, that's fucking weird. That's weird behavior. But I treated it as if it wasn't gaslighting, and I treated it as if it was a normal conversation. So I just treated it as if it was work. Then I go to the store meeting, and this person, one of the organizers for Black Brighton Market, this person was bitching about me behind my back in the store. And there was, in particular, what she said is that I tried to center everything around myself, or what they said was I tried to center everything around myself, and I tried to make everything about me when it wasn't about me. So because I confronted this person about gaslighting me, they went around telling everybody else that I was an attention seeker. So this is where striking the shepherd started, right? This is where striking the shepherd started, because they started telling everybody else, oh, this person just goes around seeking attention. And then one of the friends said, oh, it's main character energy. And I don't pay any mind. I don't confront this person about it. I just keep it. I just keep it in the vault to use for later. So main character energy, this person talking about how I want all the attention on me. Okay, cool. I ignored that. After that, it became clear that it wasn't just one person that was gangstalking me. It was multiple. But the multiple people, I feel, there was one in particular that was trying to infiltrate, I believe. And the second one that was doing track and report only. They were not getting in my face. They were not doing anything of the sort. They made one little subtle jab here and there, and that was it. So they were tracking and reporting one person. Second person was infiltrating. Third person was handling everyone else, kind of planting seeds about me to other people and other people's minds. So it was the three-prong approach from what I could see. And again, this is not a Black Brighton Market tactic. This is a gang stalking tactic. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? This is not a Black Brighton Market tactic. This is a gang stalking tactic. Everywhere you are as a targeted individual, they're always going to do the same fucking shit. It doesn't matter if you're in BBM, Black Brighton, White Brighton, Far Right Brighton, Far Right, and it doesn't matter. They're going to do the same shit. If you are a targeted individual and you find yourself in them situations, there's going to be at least one saboteur there. I experienced that with Stop the War as well. There was one sent in to infiltrate, one for track and report, one for like planting seeds and shit like that. Like, it's always the same thing wherever you go. Doesn't matter which organization it is. That's why they're all tainted. Left or right, they're tainted as fuck. So that was what was happening from the time I confronted this person about, you know, saying, oh, I want another tarot reader. Just get another tarot reader. Why'd you have to tell me that? And then on top of that, when I say, look, if you want somebody else, you can have somebody else. You don't have to like tell me that I'm valued in this, that, and the third if I'm not valued. You don't have to do that. But since people want to do that, what they will do is they'll gaslight you, and then to cover themselves, they will tell other people that this person's imagining it and this person is paranoid. Again, I treated it like an ordinary workplace practice, because people do shit like this in the workplace. But the truth of the matter is, that's a gang stalking tactic. I'm a targeted individual. It doesn't matter where I go. So that is when the first cracks started to show. It was in 2023. That's when the cracks started to show. All right. Now, this next part that I'm going to tell you is the things that I have the most evidence for. Okay. So this next part right here is what I have the most evidence for, okay? Now, let me just cover this up. I'm trying to find a way to cover this. Hang on. All right, so now hold on. I wrote to MI5 on the 27th of June 2023. They received the letter on the 27th of July 2023. They received the letter on the 28th. And this is when they responded back to me properly, because I'd made an error with the check before. So this is their proper response on the 13th of September 2023. So it says, Data Protection Act, Subject Access Request. Number 1, I refer to your request for access under Section 94 of the Data Protection Act 2018 to personal data relating to you. Number 2, the security service is established under the Security Service Act 1989 and processes data in pursuit of the following statutory functions. A, to protect national security, and in particular its protection against threats from espionage, terrorism, and sabotage, from the activities of agents of foreign powers, and from actions intended to overthrow or undermine parliamentary democracy by political, industrial, or violent means. B, to safeguard the economic well-being of the UK against threats posed by the actions or intentions of persons outside of the British Islands. C, to act in support of the activities of police forces, the National Crime Agency, and other law enforcement agencies in the prevention and detection of serious crime. Now, this is something that I have to tell you guys about, right? What I have to tell you guys is that when I was living in sheltered accommodation back in Willesden, back in London, somebody came over from the National I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Somebody claimed to be from the National Crime Agency looking for somebody who I lived with at the time that was gangstalking me. I lived at number 4, they lived at number 1. They were right next door to me. And there was somebody from the National Crime Agency claiming to be from the National Crime Agency, looking for the same person, the main person responsible for gangstalking me, for doing the infiltration, smear campaigns, and track and report. So that should give you some. And when I confronted this person about MI5 and MI6's involvement, they went nuts. Every single time I came into contact with a gang stalker and I brought up MI5 or MI6, face dropped. Let me continue. All right, hold on. Number 3, we have conducted a search of security service records and have determined that the security service does not process any personal data. I want you to listen to this carefully. I want you to listen to this very, very carefully and pay attention to the words that they use. We have conducted a search of security service records and have determined that the security service does not process any personal data within the scope of your request, which you are entitled to have under Section 94 of the Act. You should not take this response to imply that the security service does or does not hold any personal data about you. That means they hold it. That means they hold it and they're not admitting to it, because how do you not process any personal data and you don't have it? It's either you have it or you don't, right? So this reflects the policy of successive governments of applying the principle of neither confirm nor deny with regards to the activities of the security and intelligence agencies in the interest of protecting national security. So basically, they won't give me my information because they're worried about national security. Why would they need to worry about national security if they're not doing anything criminal, if they're not doing anything against the law against me? Why would they need to worry about national security? What the fuck have they been doing? And now, let's move on. We have not provided you with copies of any correspondence sent from or to you in relation to your request for information under both the Data Protection Act 1998 and the Data Protection Act 2018 on the basis that you will already be in possession of this. Please inform us if you require copies of this correspondence. Now, what they meant by that was, the correspondence in particular between myself and MI5. When I show you the original letter, you will see that what I actually meant was any correspondence between me and other people. So basically, I wanted records of my communications between me and other people. Emails, letters, phone calls, all of that. So I wanted information on that. And they're saying it does not process that. That's exactly what they're saying it does not process that. So it basically means they might not have correspondence between me and MI5, but they have every other correspondence that I've ever sent to other people. They have that in their records. And they refuse to hand that over under national security. Which means they're guilty of everything that they've been doing to me. Because if they were to follow me and they were to, survey everything that I did, they would see that there was gangstalking going on. They would see there was hacking. They would see there was fraud being committed against me. All these things, they can see it all. They know everything about you. Don't get it twisted. They know everything about you. And if they know everything about you, they know damn well you're being gangstalked. That's why they refuse to give me any information that they have on me. Okay? Now, this is important. And the reason why this is important is because on October 2023, it was the day of the eclipse. It was a day of the eclipse, October 2023, right? ITVX came to film Black Brighton Market. It was a short video. There wasn't a lot of time to get everybody in. So that part I get. But literally every other store in Black Brighton Market was filmed for ITVX apart from mine. And if I am in the background of ITVX, you will see me whilst Jade Hilton is being spoken to. You'll see me in the background kind of grinning away because I was kind of happy for her at the time, even though, I knew what was going on with the market. I was kind of happy for her because it was like, yeah, this is her moment, right? Just me grinning away in the background in a stripy black and white shirt. And even without ITVX, there's filmed evidence of me being there at Black Brighton Market, promoting my stuff before singing a really ill-prepared song on stage. So that was ITVX. And the reason why this is important is because ITV also has a documentary on MI5 that basically shows everybody around MI5's offices. Basically, ITV is out here fucking softballing MI5. And you have to remember about the securities, the private intelligence services that I listed out for you in the Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift video. Do you seriously believe that Black Cube wouldn't be a part of MI5, wouldn't be in league with MI5? Check MI5's website. They're advising private companies. Do you seriously think among those private companies are not creative intelligence services or private intelligence services? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's all connected. It's all interconnected. So ain't no way in hell that I'm the only store left out of that bitch and there wasn't gang stalking involved. There is no way. Okay? So that was on October 2023. And the reason why this is important is because whilst the British government have been openly supportive of the Ukraine and of Israel, the UK have also been doing business with Iran, and Iran is heavily behind Palestine. Now, I've heard rumor that Iran have attacked Israel on behalf of Palestine. I don't really believe that, but Israel have openly condemned, no, Iran have openly condemned Israel. And you have to remember, Iran is part of BRICS. The UK is doing trade with them. There are no sanctions at the moment against Iran. Unless I'm mistaken, there are no trade sanctions against Iran at the moment. So the UK is free to trade with them, even though Iran have condemned Israel openly. The UK is also doing business with Russia. With one hand, they're fucking sending soldiers over to the Ukraine to die with Ukrainians. And then with the other hand, they're trading with Russians. So the UK has been playing both sides whilst having people in this country divided among each other. Do you understand what I'm saying? You got people within the Black Brighton community supporting Palestine, within the POC community supporting Palestine. Meanwhile, you got your girl over here being fucking shunned and shut out on behalf of a government that supports Israel and trades with anti-Israeli people. Like, bro, if you don't get the fuck out of here, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say the West and BRICS have the same enemies. People like me, they have the same enemies. Anybody who's awake and aware enough to see the society for what it is. That's the West's enemy and that's BRICS' enemy. I don't believe for 1 second that BRICS or any foreign powers can come into this country, do it weapons experimentation on citizens of the UK, and the UK don't at least know about it. There's no way. That's why all of that stuff with relation to Black Brighton Market is important, because any gang stalkers within Black Brighton Market are going to be involved in this same fuckery. Those people dying in Palestine, they're dying for a fucking shell game. They're dying for pro wrestling kayfabe. It's not real. What they're dying for, what they're being killed for, is not real. The dividing lines are among the people because the people are supposed to kill each other. That's the point. And whichever organization that I'm a part of will have gang stalkers within it that are contributing to this warfare, to this civil warfare in privileged countries. Let me move on. So, in April 2024, that was when the Mother of Dragons comet, I think that was the first Mother of Dragons comet sighting was on the 31st of March in this country, 2024. And that's when I started to do 2 Mother of Dragons videos. I did a pick a card and I did, I did a pick a card and I did an overall astrological reading for that comet, right? And during the intros of both, I talked about how there's a manipulation of people's brainwaves of specifically targeted individuals. There are frequency weaponry capabilities that will basically match your brainwaves, detect your brainwave, match your brainwaves, and then introduce another brainwave to influence your emotions. I'm not explaining it very well, but it's basically they merge with you, then they do something different in order to influence your behavior. For the record, psychological warfare does that too. They copy everything you do. They dress like you, they walk like you, then they do something different in a bid to affect your behavior. They do that all the time. So when it comes to this technology that manipulates people's brainwaves in order to create all kinds of illnesses and stuff like that, I've actually explained this before on the Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift video. So if you go and look on that, it explains all of that. But basically, yeah, I explain all of that on the Mother of Dragons readings. And I explained that all of this stuff is going to come out. So I post that on the BBM WhatsApp group. And I did that in April. And let me just see here because I sent it to myself. 1 second. Okay. Retry. I've got a message from somebody on BBM right now. Damage control. Let me see if I can just refresh that. Let me go to Empress Justice 77 because I sent it from there. Sent. That's odd. So basically, I receive a message from one of the organizations of BBM saying your posts on BBM are kind of overwhelming. So it's overwhelming because of the frequency of the posts. Can you possibly not post, maybe just post on Black Brighton? And I'm thinking, okay, cool. But in the meantime, I'm watching multiple storeholders post things in quite high frequency on both the BBM WhatsApp group and the Black Brighton WhatsApp group. Okay, so I'm seeing both of those things happening, whilst me in June 2024, I say, can I post my thing in BBM? I wasn't allowed to do it. And I'm thinking, why am I going to spend money on promotion for BBM if they won't even allow me to promote on the WhatsApp page? And for the record, it wasn't just one person who was talking about me overwhelming the page. It was several people talking about me overwhelming the page. And I know damn well, because of the frequency of the other storeholders promoting their stuff, because of that frequency, right? I know damn well that it had nothing to do with the frequency of the post, and it had everything to do with what I was posting on the Mother of Dragons thing. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, I'm waiting for the right time to dip, because why am I going to spend money on an organization to get them to promote me when they're gaslighting me and they're not even giving me like the common courtesy to just, no, I'm not doing this. So August is when I decided to dip. And when I did that, there was somebody else who was promoting tarot cards, and because they sell tarot cards and stuff like that. So it's like they sell tarot cards, and I think they sell other stuff as well. I think they sell crystals. And then they said they do tarot readings online too. So I'm like, okay, let me contact this person and say, I think you should do online readings. I was a little bit frustrated, not at the actual tarot reader, but it was the whole thing of like me being gaslit and me being like lied to and shit. So I was just saying, look, I think you should take over from me, because clearly my posts are not going on there. I'm not being completely valued. And she said, I said, I'm sure that you'll be more palatable with them anyway. And she said, I don't know what you mean by that. And she said, I'm sure you're valued. And I said, well, value is demonstrated. And I just left it at that. So there will be another tarot reader at BBM, to my knowledge. I don't know if that's actually going to be the case. I have only suggested it. So I suggested that August 2024, I come to the stores, I do what I'm supposed to do, and I fucking dipped. I dipped on Sunday, the 18th of August. And at this point, I'm talking to you guys right now, telling you and reminding you that it is not Black Brighton Market, the organization. That is not what's going on here. It is not Black Brighton Market, the organization. It is not Black Brighton itself. It is individuals within organizations that are responsible for gangstalking me. Okay? That are responsible for my pathological murder and my torture. And basically indirectly responsible for the genocide of several other people in the country. It is individuals within. It is not the organization itself. It is not the black community itself. It is not the brown community itself. Don't get that shit twisted. The majority of people are not involved in this. And the only reason they might be involved in it is because I'm blowing the whistle. That's all. It is not the majority of people involved in this. It is specific individuals within communities that you're a part of. Specific individuals being the main issue here. Because if MI5 really wanted it to be out in public, they would have got everyone involved, but they don't do that. They get specific individuals involved. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for me, this is why I backed away from Black Brighton Market in the end. It wasn't actually because of the market itself. It's because gangstalking had poisoned my experience there so much that I had to fucking leave. I didn't have a choice. And my thing is this. For anybody who thinks that I'm just doing this out of revenge, I've talked about MI5, Palestine, Israel, the UK government. If I was going to take revenge, this would be a pretty shitty revenge to take, right? You're talking about a person diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic over here, recently lost her grandfather, and the way she's going to take revenge, is to concoct this whole story about espionage. Do me a fucking favor, bro. Do me a favor. Like, even when I know it's the truth, I have trouble believing it. And if I have trouble believing it, even though I know it's the truth, what makes you think I'm gonna ever use that as leverage or ever use that as revenge? I walked away because it was important to my integrity and my emotional peace to walk away. Yeah, and if I'm gonna take revenge on anybody, I'm an intelligent woman. I can do better than this. I can do a lot better than this. And now I gotta go because I got my WhatsApp to fucking clean up. So, peace and blessings to you. And I will see you in the next one. Empress Justice out. Oh, I've still got deals on the 25th of... I've still got deals on the 25th of... Not the 25th. But no, I've still got deals during August. It is 25% off for all targeted individuals. And I'm also doing spell casting. My private readings are still open. Everything's still open when it comes to the private readings. I'm just not doing any online content until November at least. Because I've been through a lot this year and I just need to like recalibrate everything. We'll talk soon. Peace and blessings. And yeah, take care. Bye-bye.